The flood is rising quickly. Move to higher ground.
Help us, please! We're gonna lose everything! Hold on tight!
The dawn had not yet broken, but the skies over Hubei province were already shrouded in a deadly shade of gray. What began as a relentless drizzle, a somber whisper upon the rooftops, soaking the ground, quickly escalated into one of the most catastrophic natural disasters to strike central China in recent memory. In that moment, no one in Jiangxi County, the epicenter of the flood, could have imagined they were witnessing a merciless assault of nature that their entire system was powerless to withstand. The raging waters that consumed a city, a sea of mud, and the collapse of a system. Within a single night, tranquility gave way to chaos. Rivers turned savage. The city's drainage systems, both urban and rural, were paralyzed under the weight of unprecedented rainfall. Within hours, more water had fallen than the region typically received in an entire month. Entire residential zones began to sink. From above, vast stretches of central Hubei resembled an inland sea, with only the treetops and rooftops protruding from the endless brown floodwaters. Roads disappeared, markets vanished, entire communities were swallowed whole by the torrent. The scenes were brutal. Vehicles swept away, sedans spinning helplessly in the raging currents, massive buses crushed against bridge railings, homes collapsing, walls of water tearing through everything in their path. The flash floods allowed no time to prepare. It became a desperate fight for survival, forcing tens of thousands to abandon everything, sometimes in the middle of the night, with nothing but the clothes on their backs. Those who couldn't escape were trapped in rising water, frantically searching for higher ground. In schools, classrooms flooded within minutes. Students were evacuated as textbooks and desks floated out through shattered windows. Sirens echoed through the rain-soaked sky. Every family faced helplessness as walls of water thundered through familiar streets. Mothers clung to their children. The elderly were carried on neighbors' shoulders. These moments of desperate courage, where the line between life and death grew razor thin, must be remembered. To truly understand these stories of human endurance and courage, where survival itself hung by a thread, and to learn the life and death lessons buried in this disaster, hit subscribe on Horrific Happenings now and turn on notifications, because the lessons of resilience and the cracks within our infrastructure must not sink beneath the floodwaters.
Help! Hello?
The bridge bearing is sliding. I repeat, the bridge bearing is sliding.
Attention all personnel. Evacuate the rooftop immediately.
Attention all personnel. Evacuate the warehouse immediately.
Lessons from the countryside and mudslides: the injustice of weak infrastructure. In remote rural regions, the losses were even more devastating. Many of these communities lack real-time weather warning systems, flood barriers, and basic rescue infrastructure. Some had never faced a flood of this scale before. The rivers, swollen after weeks of relentless rain, burst their banks with explosive force. Levees failed, embankments crumbled. Within minutes, shopping centers, farms, and entire neighborhoods vanished beneath the churning waters. The damage was irreversible. Livelihoods destroyed, crops wiped out, livestock carried away, the means of survival for thousands of rural families erased. Human casualties, countless lives lost, some swept away, others buried beneath collapsed buildings. Dozens remain missing. Rescue teams battled not only the elements, but also blocked roads and collapsed bridges, making it nearly impossible to reach those in need. Drones scanned rooftops for signs of life. Helicopters hoisted survivors from second-story windows. Every life saved was a miracle. Footage from the disaster zones revealed a grim reality: people wading waist, or chest deep through muddy water, trying to cross shattered streets, clutching their children, their bags, or nothing at all. This was not a spectacle for television. It was the raw experience of ordinary citizens fighting nature's fury with nothing but courage and despair. A terrifying repetition: this flood did not come alone. Just days earlier, other provinces across China, especially Guizhou and Hunan, had suffered similar disasters. Entire counties were ordered to evacuate. Rivers swelled to record levels unseen in decades. In some places, villages disappeared overnight. The repetition of such disasters has created a grim rhythm across southern China: endless rain, overwhelmed systems, and the heartbreaking task of rebuilding from the ruins.
Please, come this way.
Move slowly, follow us. Snapped.
Help me! No. Grab onto something. No, no, no!
The lingering threat and the invisible infrastructure soft ground, and the landslide catastrophe experts unanimously identify the driving force behind this new normal: climate change. As the planet warms, the hydrological cycle grows more intense. Atmospheric moisture increases, leading to heavier and longer-lasting rains. Rural and mountainous regions like Hubei are particularly vulnerable. Steep terrains, already prone to erosion, become deadly when saturated with water. Landslides are not just possible, they are inevitable. Even as the floodwaters slowly begin to recede, new dangers emerge. Waterlogged hillsides, weakened by days of relentless rain, start to collapse. Landslides have struck neighboring provinces, killing residents and wiping out homes perched precariously on slopes. Hubei, with its many mountainous zones, is now on red alert for geological disasters such as mud flows, rock falls, and ground collapses. The collapse of the urban backbone, this is the hidden danger of floods like these. They don't end. When the water retreats, they persist in the loosened soil, in cracked roads, and in the invisible damage to weakened dams and bridges. The saturated ground threatens to topple even the buildings that survived the initial storm. Indeed, the region's infrastructure has been pushed far beyond its limits. Power and communication, electrical substations are offline. Communication networks have collapsed. Healthcare, hospitals struggle to stay operational as floodwaters seep into their generators. Transportation, rescue efforts are severely hindered as roads crumble and bridges collapse, cutting off rescuers from those desperately in need. In some towns, electricity has been out for days. Entire villages are isolated without clean water or medicine. Factories have shut down and food supplies are disrupted. Families huddle in candlelit rooms, praying that the worst has passed.
Help, I'm here!
Help me, please! Help me!
Help us!
Attention all passengers, please remain calm.
Resilience and the warning for recovery, a community reborn from hardship yet amid the chaos. Signs of resilience have begun to emerge across every corner of Hubei. Local and provincial authorities have launched swift emergency responses. Military units were deployed to assist with evacuations. Rescue boats patrolled submerged streets. Cleanup crews started clearing debris, pumping water from tunnels, and restoring communication lines. Community support surged. Drones delivered emergency supplies to villages unreachable by land. Sandbags were piled high along embankments. Temporary shelters sprang up in schools and government buildings. Volunteers poured in, young and old alike, bringing food, clothing, and comfort. Emotional recovery followed. Emergency medical teams set up field hospitals. Psychologists worked with children and families coping with the trauma of losing everything. The cleanup has only just begun. Thousands of homes are caked in mud. Mold and contamination are posing new health threats. Entire harvests are gone, taking with them the livelihood of thousands of rural families. But people are rebuilding, brick by brick and heart by heart. Neighbors help one another. Teachers tutor children in shelters. Local businesses donate blankets, fuel, and hot meals. It is a community reborn through hardship. The final warning in this disaster is a wake-up call louder than any siren. It has exposed the vulnerability not only of rural areas, but also of cities that believe themselves prepared. It revealed cracks in forecasting systems, in emergency planning, and in the ability to withstand back-to-back climate events. Though infrastructure investment has increased, it still lags behind the escalating threat of extreme weather. What is needed now is not just recovery, but reinvention. Experts are calling for smarter water management systems, real-time flood mapping and satellite-based early warning networks, urban planning that accounts for the worst-case climate scenarios, dams, drainage systems, and disaster drills that must be overhauled for a hotter, wetter future. The people of Hubei, and China as a whole, are no strangers to floods. Throughout history, the nation has battled the destructive might of rivers like the Yangtze, but climate change has altered the scale and speed of such disasters. What once unfolded over decades now happens within seasons. There is no more time to wait.
Help us! Run! Run! Get out of here!
Responsibility does not rest on Hubei alone. These disasters are not merely local tragedies. They are global signals. The cost of inaction is no longer theoretical. It is measured in broken families, collapsed schools, ruined crops, and grieving mothers. For those affected in Hubei, the road ahead remains difficult. Yet amid the sorrow, there endures an unyielding spirit to carry on. Officials remain vigilant. Drainage channels are being cleared. Rescue units stay on constant alert. The next flood may come sooner than anyone dares to admit. What is clear is this: the time to act is not tomorrow, it is now. The waters may recede, but the lessons must remain. Stay with us as we uncover the life and death lessons from the world's most devastating disasters. Subscribing to the channel is your way of standing for stronger infrastructure and safer communities in this era of extreme climate. We will continue to bring in-depth analyses of infrastructure failures and hidden dangers such as landslides and erosion, threats that governments and communities must confront. Subscribe now to Horrific Happenings so you don't miss critical insights into disasters and the lessons they teach. Stay informed, stay safe, and together, let's reach higher ground.